who executed that guy because she.
Oh, well, she thought she had her taser. She was trying to tase him.
Yeah. And they're like, they look so similar. They have such similar weight. They feel the same in your hand as a gun.
I said lady.
It'd be different if they were wildly different tools on different sides of your belt that had different weights.
I'm telling you, like you saw Shane Gillis
colors.
You saw Shane Gillis' sister trying to get her pistol back in her holster. I'm telling you,
dude. Shane Gillis' sister. I saw some still of Vance, Trump's VP,
when he was on the airfield,
and I saw I don't know, but it looks like that bitch is back in the lineup. How do you not lose your job after that? How's she?
What? She couldn't holster up nice and clean. That bothered you? That's a fireable offense.
If you're in that situation,
put her life on the line.
No,
what
she didn't.
Bigot.
She was standing right by the Tahoe.
I think it was my favorite part was that she tried to reholster, couldn't, and then brought it back out.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that.
Did anybody notice? Okay, I'm probably fine. This probably won't be a global.
I bet nobody's looking.
Nobody's looking.
It's worse than that. There's a second video. All right, so when they left there, they all got in the same convoy and took Trump to the local medical center, wherever that was. She gets out and gets her gun out there and has the same shit happen. Like there's a whole other video of her in front of, at the emergency room, how you pull under that awning and there's like a brick little everything.
Yeah.
They're there. I'm sure they just took Trump into the emergency room. I wish there was footage of that. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the ER receive Donald Trump. That would have been fun. And I got to say, why did he heal like the Terminator?
Because it's an ER.
What happened? Because look, I think he got shot. I think a bullet hit his ear. I don't think that there was any. Woody and I were when this is right after it happened. We were like, maybe there's a theory out there that glass from the teleprompter, and if you don't know, modern teleprompters are just a sheet of glass that the words are lasered upon. Yeah, and we thought, oh, maybe the bullet hits that. Glass sprays his face a little bit. Maybe that was it. Maybe it wasn't a direct impact. But then you see the Times photo where you see the vapor trail of the bullet going past his head. That's pretty undeniable. I don't know if that's the bullet that struck his ear or just a different bullet that went by his head. But, the way he bled, you could see his ear was mangled a little bit. But then, like,
FBI director said that it was a ricochet, not that it was a fragment.
Which to me makes zero sense.
Okay, I'm listening. It got really political. A lot of people felt that was kind of stealing valor in some way from a gunshot victim.
So, I don't understand what it would be ricocheting off of, considering he was on an elevated platform. You'd have to miss by like 30 degrees and then bounce perfectly toward the target. You might have been that's a very odd thing, considering he was the thing that was foremost.
The thing that it hit first would be discovered, right? Like, I assume they looked at this crime scene very carefully. I mean, former president got shot, presidential candidate got shot. If there's a bullet hole in a handrail somewhere, they'd see that, right?
Yeah, they'd find that.
Yeah.
The only way you could even declare that you thought it was something like that is if you pulled like a shattered jacket chunk out of his ear or out of his collar. Then you'd be like, oh, look at this spalling. Look at this chunk of like destroyed bullet that flicked at him. But no, nothing like that happened because the trajectory's all wrong, like you said. And like, it isn't a cartoon. Bullets bounce, but it didn't go past Trump, hit a piece of metal, they come back at Trump, and like, honest. And if that happened, that's even cooler.
and if it would be real, like if
it was a real nick because he was fine.
I would guess that it hit like that, like that fleshy part on the outside of the cartilage out here.
Yeah,
because anything here is going to cause a lot of blood. Just like if you might not think it, but if like somebody wraps you on the top of the head with something, there's a ton of blood vessels in your scalp. Like you're going to bleed like crazy. And all up here, there's nothing. So like
where the lumps you get on your head, ever get a hematoma? Like you can get a golf ball size lump on your head from a good knot.
Yeah. And so like, I think that it just caught that fleshy part, didn't tear off any cartilage. Because if it tore off cartilage, I feel like that would take longer to heal unless he's just got some wild doctors. Yeah. And so it makes sense. He just got hit in like,
so barely. It barely fucking touched his ass. I'm sure he's like, damn, I wish it hit me a little more.
Feels like
did you guys see the video that I made recreating it?
No.
I haven't seen.
So I did a recreation both of that shot, what it would have looked like from the shooter's angle with the equipment he used, and also we recreated the Secret Service return shot on the shooter, like just blew the fucking ballistic head open. But genuinely did a Donald Trump like ballistic head and shot the ear at 100,000 frames per second with ballistic high speed, and showed what it would look like with the 5.56 like nicking through the ear like that. The only thing, it looked way more dramatic than it was because it was ballistic gel, obviously. But with cartilage of the ear like that, I don't think there'd be like, you got to remember the 5.56 is like 0.22 inches. Like it's not big, and it's not going to have any expansion if it's going through like a tiny flap of cartilage or a tiny little flap of skin. So like, honestly, that's not a hard injury to recover from and have like
it rubbed him though.
Oh, the way you're saying it, you make it sound like a 1/4-inch bullet went through his ear. That's not what happened. He was just barely touched by it.
It's hard to say. Like it really, like it's, unless I would love to have like an actual, like the surgeon, like come out, hey, this is exactly where it hit. Here's a diagram of the ear. Here's the path of the bullet. That would be really helpful.
I'll tell you what I told him. Stuck on Band-Aid brand, because Band-Aid stuck on me. I think it just rubbed against him. I'm not trying to take his
he was grazed
victim, or I'm not trying to lessen what happened to him at all, but like, holy shit, it barely touched him. To me, it speaks more to the evangelical talking points that say the hand of God itself guided, moved Trump's chin to the right a little bit and made him dodge that. He literally dodged it Neo style. Has there ever been a better bullet dodge? Because you see that graphic of like where the shooter was lined up right before Trump did the herky jerky, and like
he went to go like look at a graph.
It would have like popped him like right, like brain matter on the stage.
Yeah, everyone gave the guy a hard time for being a bad shot, but he was a moving target.
Yeah, Trump dodges bullets.
He dodges
also, you're using a 5.56 with zero magnification. You're using.
I was going to ask, what optic did he have?
It looked like from the shitty resolution photo that we saw, it looked like he had a zero magnification red dot that was mounted too far forward on, get this, it was a DPMS AR-15 that his dad bought a long time ago.
What does that mean?
Like, it's a shitty brand. You're looking at like 3 MOA. So basically that plus the optic, you're at 150 yards, 130 yards. Your best case scenario is like a 4.5-inch, 5-inch variable on your target.
What is MOA?
MOA is minute of angle. So basically that means 1 inch at 100 yards, 2 inches at 200 yards, that sort of thing. So if you're looking at 3 MOA at 150 yards, I think that's 4.5 MOA, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a way of measuring the accuracy of the gun. It means that it's going to shoot a 3-inch group at that. If it's shooting 3 MOA,
a perfect shooter would get a 3-inch group.
The rifle in a vise. So then you've got to add on the optic and how imprecise that is. If it's even set perfectly, and certainly not set for 100, and then a kid on a hot roof.
Yeah.
To add to
who's
what
just
Brandon
been discovered by
I read about the optic, and the article said the same thing Brandon did, which was an unmagnified red dot.
So it's literally just like looking through a piece of glass that has a red dot on it, like no zoom capability whatsoever. So like that's a
low budget assassin.
Yeah.
The deep state, they could have done better. They went cheap. The Trump brand never goes cheap.
They sent at me the gayest loser in their arsenal, people. Can you believe it? Bunch of losers. He's out there like, try again, pussy.
Why do you send me your hardest battles? You're my gayest loser.
Son, I'm glad he didn't do that. Like he didn't show like a picture of the kid and like riff on it. Imagine if that was the next fight.
I would have
liked
at this
that.
Kid. No,
look at this fucking loser.
Look at this loser. This is a guy that got no pussy. I know, folks. I know it's embarrassing. No pussy for this. Died with no pussy. Can you imagine?
We call him no pussy cook.
Nope, the no pussy shooter.
I saw him after he'd been shot, is all bloody and
Did
stuff.
you?
And then on Police Activity, GOAT of police channels, there's a unedited 28-minute video of one of the cops up on the roof with the body and the rifle and everything. I was trying to get a good look at the rifle, but he never approaches it. He just stands. He's on one side of the body and the rifle's on the other, so you don't get a great look at it.
I'd love to get a screenshot of that at some point, because I was really hoping I was right with that optic being like awkwardly too far forward.
It's on. There's
where presidents always shot with magic bullets, huh? Explain that to me.
It's because they're hiding something. It's because it's not what it appears, as always.
Could it be aliens? Are you saying it's aliens again? Taylor believes in aliens.
Do I? I do. More than anything. More than anything, I believe in them.
All right, I believe in them then.
We know you do. You're all about it's because it's your greatest fear. Being molested by an alien.
What is that new thing about the Democratic VP and like having to get his stomach pumped from horse cum?
What?
Well, I mean
I've just seen that.
Now, if that were
the latest dig against
I would have heard about it.
It's popped up on Twitter the last 2 days, and I can't tell if it's a troll or not.
I would imagine so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would imagine there's no way this guy drank
because
to get. How much of anything do you have to drink to get your stomach pumped?
Well, how much horse cum can a man have?
I mostly want to
more than a liter. I'll tell you that.
More than a little. What is like? It's not in between.
A liter doesn't do it. It just gives you a heartburn.
I think if we stay within the realm of reality, there is a story that I think he dressed his dog up in some sort of like flamboyantly gay outfit and took it to the Pride Parade.
Well, I mostly want to know where it came
Maybe the dog's gay.
It was a gay dog. It's fine.
Yeah, that makes sense.